Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Wrong track, but that's okay. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hey, 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 good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Man,
Rough start this morning. What is this,
yeah.
Friday?
Yeah, it's Friday, man. Am I tripping? How are we sounding? Let us know out there. Let us
Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, let us know how we're sounding if you're just joining us.
yeah.
Good morning, Kimra. I appreciate you coming through this morning. Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning happening right now. Pop says good morning, Kimra and all. What's going on, Pops? How we doing? Let us know how we sounding. We got some audio difficulties going on over here, so we're trying to figure it out. We loud enough today? What's going on with
Our usual indicators ain't telling the story.
it? Leg Keisha's in the chat though, man. Coming back with this is the first fry yippee yo yay we got this season. So what's going on? Judy Princess says sounding great.
Okay.
You want to give Leg Keisha a try there?
All right, let's go. Happy Friday. Yay, 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 yo. Did I skip a yay?
Okay.
How'd I do? Let us know.
Think you did pretty good. Think you did pretty good. Mark Manor says sounds good, but now, but the first couple seconds were odd. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, yeah. We were.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bear with us. Bear with us. It is Friday, July 18th, 2025. And yeah, we're here again. This is season 3B. We're calling this Space is the Place. And yeah, we're talking a lot about spaces and places this season. And we've been talking about these things all week, and we got more to discuss, of course. And no special guest today. It'll be us kind of going through some of the news and recapping what's going on this week. And yeah, and talking about what's happening this weekend because a lot of stuff is
Man.
coming up. A lot of stuff coming up. I do believe we have all of our 8 participants for the content creators camp Saturday. Am I right about that?
Yeah, yeah. Looking like the class is filled up. So big
Okay.
shout out to everybody who's reached out, who's shown interest. Shout out to those who spread the word because I was seeing a lot of people repost things and spread the word. So big shout out to everybody who helped with that. And yeah, yeah.
That'll work. Sounds good. Appreciate that as well. And anybody else who is interested in Content Creators Camp, we got another one coming up very soon too. So we'll
Oh yeah.
put you on a list and get you back going as well. So that's what's happening. Marlon Harrison in the chat saying good morning, happy TGIF first Sky family. Appreciate that. Sean McCarthy giving us a morning, everyone. That's what's up. Appreciate it. And yeah, apologize for that the little false start feeling that we got this morning. We were trying to work through a
Yeah.
little audio difficulty, but we're here, we're back, we're revved up and getting ready to go. Lots to talk about today. So I see I think ghost listeners I've been talking to this past couple of days, uh, and everybody's realizing we're back on. This is usually what happens when we come back on after a break. After a break, we got to remind people that the season is up and running again. So we're here again. So do us a favor, share the show. Yeah, that's what we were feeling. Tiny bit hot. Thanks, Pops.
Yeah.
Share the show and let as many people in on the conversation as we can, especially if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, do the same, like and subscribe, share the show. Let's try to get it popping again this season. So, yeah, appreciate it. Anything in the news that you guys are looking at? I know that people have been putting stuff in front of First Sky Omaha and having some discussion, so I appreciate that. What's standing out to you guys? We would love to know that. Love to hear about that. Always let us know what you're thinking as well. And yeah, and we'll dive into some stuff we're talking about. Buddy, how you feeling this morning? By the way,
Man, I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Kind of, man, thinking about a few things. Space is the place. Been spending my time traveling around the city, checking out the food spots, checking out different things. Of course, was at Jazz on the Green last night.
was it jazz though? Has it been
Yeah,
jazz on the green?
yeah. I don't quite know if that's the same space and place I'm used to. Like I've been going to Jazz on the Green since it was at Jocelyn. This has been a staple as far as our family summer activities. And yeah, man, the energy was kind of low, kind of low. So,
How was the music though? What kind of music did they play there?
well, I think the music has something to do with the energy being low. You know what I mean? I don't know, song selection. I don't know
I'm gonna
what.
ask you for a third time. Was it jazz on the green, or
No, no,
it was
no.
just some music on the green?
Yeah, just music on the green. Just music on the green. But other than that, man, I am feeling good. Looking forward to Omaha Days. That's of course a few weeks away. So celebrating the space and place that we know is North Omaha, the Deuce. So definitely excited about that. And of course tomorrow, some things going on with content creators camp. So yeah, excited about those things. And yeah, trying to just stay on top of everything and make sure we touching base. While I'm still here, man, few weeks left.
Yeah, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to get the Chet Chum's kickback going and hang out, a little hanging out. There is gonna be some jazz though. The Hollins group is always bringing the jazz for real. If you really want to check out some jazz,
The real deal.
the real deal. Omaha Jazz Experience happening tomorrow, so everybody's kind of excited about that. This is gonna be at Stinson Park. They said the heat's not gonna be too bad tomorrow, so it should be a little cooled off. Might even need to bring your umbrella. Raining a little bit. So, it might rain a little bit, little sprinkles here and there. Bring your umbrella, but it should be really fun. And they got some actual jazz happening tomorrow too. Kind of heard some of the tracks that are happening, and some of these artists. If you're not familiar with, you'll be pleasantly surprised if you're any kind of jazz head at all. Definitely check it out. But yeah, we'll talk about that more in the show. So yeah, just trying to represent, man. I've been thinking about this. It's been a discussion over the past few years about jazz on the green, and if they if it's really jazz on the green anymore. It's jazz. It's kind of the genre is kind of faded a little bit in that kind of environment. So not a lot of jazz artists kind of floating around too much. I don't think it's traveling around. I think the circuit is a little dry these days as far as who's on it, or maybe it's just how it is in the Midwest. I'm not sure. We need to ask the resident music cat Mark Manor. He says adult contemporary crooner on the green.
Pretty much. That's a accurate the description. But I don't want to hear no crooning. I go out there. I want to move.
Or yeah, or something. So I'm not sure. Not sure what's going on with it. But apparently, you said the energy was low, but was a good turnout yesterday though.
Yeah,
Jazz on
yeah,
the
still a lot of people. Mama God kind of made a funny statement that like she was like, "Yeah, people just come out for the fellowship." And I'm like, "Okay, okay, I can see that. I can see that. Less
Green.
about, exactly hearing the music and more just about being outside with fellow community members." Which we always talk about the third place and where do you go to, just kind of kick back and not be at home, not be at work. So, it is what it is. Hopefully
Yeah.
you know, they pick things up on the music end, though. I'm a musician. I can't, it's
Yeah.
it's killing
So
me.
it's
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 killing
like going out having a picnic, basically. You're going out having a picnic with adult contemporary radio station on, kind of.
pretty much, pretty much.
Okay, sounds good. Heather Williams gives us a good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Kimmer says we ended up playing our own jazz last week at Jazz on the Green.
See, just gotta
Yeah,
get down.
but the fellowship I did see last week. I saw you out there, Kimmer, and a bunch of people. So it is kind of that thing, like an opportunity to go out and have a little picnic in the park, kind of deal, with some background music, getting down. So, but I've also been to some Jazz on the Greens that went off pretty good. Big Wade and Black Swan Theory played there once, which was dope. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
again, not necessarily jazz, but at least very entertaining music.
Make you
So,
want to move. That's my point. That's my point. I don't want to sit listen to no crooning.
Kimber says, me and the homegirls enjoyed a 50-yard line view from the comfort of a condo. Oh, you was in the condo chilling
Oh
at
yeah,
Jazz on the Green. You had to bring your own music. Yeah, sound that's how you were able to listen to your own music during Jazz on the Green because you're inside the
make-
condo. I heard that.
makes sense. Makes sense.
Makes sense. We'll jump into a little bit of community updates before we get on to it, before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Speaking of the fact that Kimra Snipes is in the chat right now, she's doing a goal for One Omaha. She's trying to raise some funds for One Omaha. And from what I understand, the goal is going pretty good. We saw her on a podcast yesterday and she was talking to somebody from Share Omaha. And yeah, talking about what the money was going to go to and things that were going to happen. So it was good to see you out there on there and bigging this up. And we know that if you reach your goals, then a lot of other organizations and neighborhood organizations are going to be able to have some money to do something. So appreciate what you're doing with that. I put the link in the chat for you to check out, donate to that cause as well. Help her raise some funds so she can give away some of that money to neighborhood projects. We're all about it. So yeah, appreciate that very much. And as we talked about yesterday, I mean, as we talked about already, tomorrow the Omaha Jazz Experience is going down at Stinson Park. Highly encourage you to check them out. Go to hollandscorp.com hallins.com. You'll see it right there, HALLINSCORP.com, and get your tickets. There's VIP tickets left as well. You want to hear some real jazz? Go definitely check that out tomorrow. We'll talk about that more later in the show. Mark Manner says, you want authentic jazz in town, you head to Red Lion Lounge or Noma.
Mm,
Very true, very true. If you're a
okay.
jazz head, then Red Lion and Noma, north of the previous Loves Jazz,
Man,
is getting down with the jazz around here. There is a jazz scene still happening here, and you kind of got to go to these clubs to go to it. So appreciate that very
where's
much.
Red Lion?
Anybody into jazz like that though? I mean, I go from time to time because I'm kind of into it, but yeah, let us know. Let us know if anybody in the chat goes and checks out jazz shows. You guys are jazz appreciators, or what genre of music do you go out and see? We kind of want to know because we got some opportunities to bring some artists in town that we've been talking about, and we're like, I wonder what the people want to see.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Let us know.
let us know. And if you think about it later, hit us up at firstskyOmaha@gmail.com. Just drop us an email and let us know some of your favorite artists that you'd love to see to bring in town. Love to see that. Also, Mark Manner in the chat says also tomorrow Lee Fields will be opening for Alabama Shakes at the Astro. He's a soul legend. Lee Fields, Alabama
Okay.
Shakes ain't too bad either. So it
Yeah.
might be a good show there for sure. I appreciate the news there. If you want more news, man, get with Mark because he's got a Substack called Omaha Buzz that we subscribe to, and it really kind of talks about all the music that is happening in and around Omaha. So definitely connect with Mark, get your Omaha Buzz on, and find out about what's going on in the music scene all around. So
Yeah.
appreciate
So
that very much. Hmm.
so we're on Substack, I think.
Yeah, Substack. I think he got a Facebook and Instagram page too, right? Definitely check it out. Also, while we're at it, just wanted to mention that this is the last day to become an ambassador with Omaha Municipal Land Bank. Definitely, highly encourage you to set. We've been talking about this kind of all week. I think it's a good idea to really kind of set up and become an ambassador. Go ahead and fill out that application and get with it. If you have any inclinations at all to do any kind of development, buy some land in town, build something, or down the line, even, or even if you live in town and there's an empty lot or something next door that you wish you could do something with, you'll be able to find out how to be in contact with all of those things, all of those items, and learn how to be a part of really changing the landscape of the neighborhood. So definitely check it out. Become an ambassador. Go to Omaha Municipal Land Bank. Sign up. This is the last day for this year's cohort. I think all you really got to do is go to a meeting a month for about 9 months, and over the course of those meetings, you'll learn how to, work in that area of land banking, and if you put your money where your mouth is when it comes to what we want to do with the spaces and places in our neighborhoods. So check it out,
Mhm.
most definitely. And also, just to remind people, Chad Chimer's Kickback is now in conjunction with Untamed Summer, and that's coming up Sunday, August 3rd. Put that on your calendar. We definitely want you to come through from 4 to 7. It's going to be at Assembly of the Saints. If you guys have never been to Assembly of the Saints, this will be a really good time for you to check it out. It's on North 24th Street in Omaha. Let me see. Oh, 4224 North 24th Street.
The
So
Deuce.
the Deuce, yeah, man. It's gonna be off the chain, and we're gonna have a good time with them. And also, shout out to Sherman Wells and his Untamed Summer that he's doing every Sunday in the summer. And so there's gonna be lots of good crowds up there. You can bring the kids. There's gonna be plenty of music, plenty of games, plenty of food, and another chance for fellowship with maybe a better soundtrack. So yeah, definitely come out and check that out. And yeah, we'll jump into some more of the community updates and things like that a little later on in the show. But I'm gonna pass it over to Buddy. Talk about what we're gonna talk about today. What's today's thread? What's going on, Buddy?
Yeah, yeah. Aside from Jazz on the Green, um, yesterday also you and I went over to Metro and celebrated 10 years with our partners over at 180 Rap. So definitely shout out to Diane Good Collins. And that's kind of where my mind is today. Just hearing some of the stories, seeing the pathway of the program. Really our conversation with Sister Raquel on Wednesday, thinking about brothers and sisters in the space and place that we know as prison. I mean, really kind of continuing our conversation from Wednesday, and just a little context. Actually, personally, I have a cousin who's currently serving time in federal prison, and also a friend of mine. Her brother is about to end a 9 year sentence. He's on the way home. So personally, seeing the impact of prison um, is on my mind. And then outside of my personal life, seeing what's going on with these ICE situations, seeing the continued conversation between police and the community. I mean, that's really what has been catching my attention over the break. Unfortunately, when we ended last season, a brother lost his life in custody of Omaha police, and that's something that we continue to I try to continue to keep on my mind. We haven't really talked about as much here on the show, but big shout out to brother Sherman Wells, who's trying to push the line on that and make sure people are aware of what's going on with that. But so yeah, there's several things adjacent to that conversation that I do want to give a shout out to Miss Erica Felt, who hasn't really been as active on the show. Of course, she got the babies, especially with the summer babies on her hand at the daycare. But she shared a few several things and continued some conversations that we're having. Actually, in the news, uh, Don Klein has elected or announced that he has decided to make a return. So I'm definitely thinking of Precious's top five, as we call it, top five, top five. Not only Don Klein, but Bacon has been very active in the last couple of weeks. Actually, very vocal on this big, beautiful bill that we've been talking about here on the show. And not necessarily so much getting into the bill, but just um, thinking of lanes of change and how we can continue to create the space and place that we want to live in. I think a big part of continuing this conversation about spaces and places is the role that the police have in our community, especially ahead of Omaha days. We always see an increased police presence during Omaha days. There's always kind
Yeah,
of strained relationships between the police and the community. A lot of unpleasant interactions between the police and the community during Omaha days. Let's just call it what it is. Um, and given the last few months, as I've explained, what does that look like? What do we expect in that situation? So a few conversations surrounding that. I definitely want to talk about Don Klein and the plan. Still looking for somebody to run against them, as the article says. No Democrats have announced, but we're also talking about independents or anybody else who at least has the mind to think of the people. So definitely having that conversation. Also looking at some things going on with Bacon, not just the Back the Blue bill that he recently passed, but just the whole supporting of um, the big beautiful bill and things surrounding that situation. Also, close to us, of course, tomorrow, as we mentioned, the content creators camp is jumping off. So not only Bacon, but Ricketts, who's also a part of this top five, supporting this $9.6 billion cut to public media, which is also on top of mind for me. Shout out to NPR and PBS, the teams over there who's pushing the line and definitely, talking about fighting the good fight for us to be able to continue doing what we're doing and engaging the community. So continuing a lot of these conversations. That's what's on the top of my mind. But as always, we'd love to hear from you all out there. Again, several people still active on Friends of. But if there's anything we're not talking about, anything we're missing the mark on, definitely feel free to drop that into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul B, what's on your mind? What's the thread? What you thinking about?
yeah, same, man. Definitely on this. Just thinking a lot about communication lately too. Definitely thinking about the fact that cuts are being made, just based on the administration doesn't like the messages. So, First Amendment rights are really being threatened, and it's a shame that they're calling it for. They're saying taxpayer dollars shouldn't go to all this left wing rhetoric is kind of what their argument is. And again, I just like I wish this was like what J. Cole used to talk about all the time. Like, hey, why
Mm,
can't we pick what we want to spend our tax dollars on? Put it on an app with a button and let me press it, and let me decide what I want my taxpayer dollars to go to. And so it just always feels like that, especially when they want to attack something because they don't like it. So we're in the game, so we're constantly thinking about ways to communicate and what ways are getting cut off, what ways are getting throttled. We used to be on Twitter, now we're not because of everything that's going on with Elon and that company. We're constantly shifting, and we have to constantly shift with the goal of reaching the people and being able to talk to the people. So I mean, hey, we like I said before, we might get down to carrier pigeon by the time we get done around here. So never know. Ooh, look at the food! Look at the food! Anthony Rogers right in the chat saying Big Sherm at Heartland of America Park on fire last night. Yeah, man. There was there was the
The
good what was
march.
it? Good trouble march that happened yesterday.
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
glad that somebody went to that. Let us know. I saw a post by Big Sherm. He said it was him and Brother Shabazz. They said they fooled around. Let them give them a mic, and they're about to fire it up. So Anthony Rogers Wright said they lit it up last night. That's what's up. Appreciate that very much. Michelle Moreno in the chat said, "I bet he was. I had to work. I'm mad. I missed it. I'm mad. I missed it
Man,
too." Yeah, lots too much going on for sure. Peyton Zyler in the chat saying good morning. Appreciate that very much. Also, Sean McCarthy in the chat says, "Love jazz. Have gone to several Noma events. I think I have about 100 plus jazz albums in my vinyl collection. Sounds
okay,
like somebody into some jazz. That's what's up."
okay.
There you go. Anthony Rogers Roy says OPPD is selling out to Trump, Zuckerberg, Musk, and Bezos. The backroom deals they are making to expand data centers will have massive implications for Omaha very soon.
Mm,
Yeah, talk to our partner out there. Amy Ryan lives in an area where all those big places are being built right now. These massive Google plants and everything that's going on. So there is going to be implications on so many different levels, environmental, all kinds of different levels with these things coming in and coming in for what if we were throttled in being able to use them. We're in the business and we do some of this. Some of the paying for some of the advertising on um, these social media platforms like Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram. And I'm learning as I'm doing this that basically we having to pay money to get our message to the audience that we already have. Like before, it used to be you pay some money to get some advertising to broadcast past your circle of people that have liked your page, but now they've throttled it down so much now that even our followers are not getting all of our messages, and you have to pay extra money in order to get it to your followers. So, again, constantly thinking about how these things have to change up because the real goal here is you got to be able to communicate. And if it cut means of communication off, which in any kind of fascist society, the first thing they do is cut off the means of communication. We got to get inventive. Might be throwing paper airplanes out the window, carrier pigeons, something, whatever got to happen. So it's going down. Kimber says, not even kind of the argument. When I was out in D.C., that was the exact argument. Terminology used, leftist ideologies, indoctrination, 1619 project. It was traumatizing.
mm.
So yeah, they don't like something, and they want to do something to tear it down. But I will say in that argument when it comes to NPR, PBS, and all that, the people in the end are going to be speaking and doing what they're going to do, and they already kind of set up for this in a lot of ways. They don't really depend on a whole lot of federal money in the first place, so they ain't going nowhere. And it'll be up to us to really kind of keep in mind that we got to be in charge of our own communication as well. So
Yeah.
Peyton Zyler in the chat says, I was blessed to host the Good Trouble event last night. Both Sherman and Anthony killed it with their speeches. Glad to hear that. Glad you was a part
Good.
of that, man. Brother Zyler, that's what's up.
Getting
I
down.
love it. I love it. I love it. Kimmer also says, this is what when I was at the Department of Education and meeting with the Congressional Workforce and Education Committees K through 12 Stafford. Okay. Oh, K through 12 Stafford. Got it. She says, ridiculous. And they couldn't answer one question I had about data and evidence. Of course not. Of
Mm.
course not.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Lots to talk about here about and I appreciate you guys getting the ball rolling here and bringing up some good points. We'll jump into the conversation right after we take a quick break. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, he's buddy to God. All of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, really appreciate you guys coming through. Stay tuned. 7:24 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we still got an hour and a half left in the show to get into these discussions. And for those of you coming in and out, don't worry. Lots to talk about. Keep commenting and keep adding to the conversation wherever you come in on it. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. I'm going.
Ease into the smooth sounds of jazz at the Omaha Jazz Experience, Saturday, July 19th at Stinson Park. It's an unforgettable night of elegance featuring legendary saxophonist Marion Meadows with jazz icon Alex Bunyan. Also performing the king of contemporary jazz, Kim Waters. Don't miss Marion, Alex, and Kim live on July 19th. The music kicks off at 5 p.m. Visit eventbrite.com for ticket information.
This summer, North Omaha comes alive. It's the Native Omaha Days Festival, a week-long celebration of culture, music, food, shopping, and powerful community reunions. Join locals, new residents, and visitors from around the globe for the ultimate homecoming experience. Get in on the fun. Find event details, vendor info, and more at nativeomahadays.org. Let's make memories together at Native Omaha Days, July 28th through August 4th.
Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Native Omaha Day is coming up, as you can see. We're very excited about it. Got family coming in town, and we're going to get down at Native Omaha Days. Very, very particular and specific to Omaha. This is really something else. Growing up in California, I knew about it because I had family here. We used to come back sometimes and check it out. So, but I thought it was, as a kid, thought it was everywhere. And then I also thought it was for all of Omaha. So didn't realize it was a Black community thing until later on in my teenage years and really figuring it out. But man, what a special thing that happens. And if you know any of the history of it, I'd highly encourage you to go check it out. I think Flatwater Free Press actually has the article that Leo Adam Bigger wrote on the history of Native Omaha Days. Definitely check it out because it's a real trip of how this thing came about. And it's directly tied to the things we talk about around here. We always talk about brain drain. We talk about getting out of town in order to do some other things in industries. What place do you have here in Omaha? If you feel like you don't have a place here in Omaha for what you're trying to do, you got to go some other place and get busy there. And but the ties are so strong here that you come back. And there's now a formal organized event that happens every 2 years that they for the specific reason of coming back and being with your family and being, engaging with your roots where you came up. And I think it's really special. And that was always special. And I always thought, why is it every 2 years? Well, it's every 2 years because every other year they do Native Omaha Days in other states, in other cities, which is crazy when you think about it. Like, I need a piece of Omaha here in Houston, so let's just turn it into Omaha for a week or two out here and gather together with everybody who's in Houston that was born and raised in Omaha, like that type of thing. So it's really a special deal, and I love the fact that they're going all out. They got the parade, they got a bunch of events happening. It's kind of time to start mapping out what you're going to do over that course of time. So yeah, because there's a lot. It's one of them things that there's a lot. You kind of got to really map it out. So July 28th to August 4th. There's going to be parade, live music, dance, tasty food, shopping, fun tours, cultural exhibits, family fun, unforgettable memories, homecoming reunion.
You name it.
You name it. All of it going down. I love the fact that they put like a saxophone up here and some ribs on the flyer. And
Man.
Yeah, this is a Black flyer right here. The Black family, some ribs, a saxophone. Yeah. A boombox on this side, a disco ball. That's what's up. Man, they know how to decorate this thing here. But as you can see at the bottom, there's a whole lot of organizations that are coming together for this. The trolley's going to be out there. There's going to be North Omaha tours that's happening. Big community celebration. And start mapping out your week now. Where you gonna what you gonna go? Go to the Native Omaha Days website and definitely check out all the stuff and kind of map your week out. I definitely think we're going to do that too because we got family coming in town, so we want to make sure that we take them to the things that we think they ought to see. But yeah, definitely check this out and cherish it. This is not done anywhere. I haven't seen this done many other places that I've been. So, but as Buddy was talking about, man, the one downside sometimes that happens at Native Omaha Days is that police presence. The barricades they put up seems to get thicker and thicker every year. We want safety. We wanted it to be a safe event, but man, it feels oppressive sometimes when you got police officers from other parts of the city, I'll say, that are kind of monitoring what we're doing over there. It's kind of tough. What do y'all feel about it? What do you feel about it? I've talked to many people in North Omaha. Some very much like the presence to keep things safe. Others feel very oppressed by it. How do you feel? Love to hear that. Put that in the chat, or you can also always put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha and make a comment on that. Love to hear about that. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and pass it over to you, buddy. Get things rolling. What's on your mind right now?
Just really quickly I appreciate what you said about the Omaha Days situation, and again, I kind of explained it last episode, but being away from Omaha now for 5 years, you still do feel that pull, back to the Omaha community and that connection, no matter where you go. So much so, like you said, people would even like to take it to where they are. And do their own Omaha club thing, and I see Marlon Harrison. Yeah, he says y'all got to get Kimberly Barnes, a president of Native Omaha Club, on the show. I would definitely love to speak to her. Cameron says later talk about Casa too. So okay, some things to talk about, some things to get into, definitely. And then also on that note, before I get into the police presence and the police, community relationship, speaking of spaces and places related to Omaha Days specifically, I did see a post that kind of got my mind going. Someone said that all the events that she saw were 30 and up, and that she would just stay home. And I
Hmm.
am kind of wondering, aside from the parade, what is there for young folk to do? And that has been a conversation in the past as far as Native Omaha Days activities, not really being geared towards young folk. So again, what is there for young folk to do? Not just during Omaha Days, but in general. What is there
Interesting.
fun for young folk to do? And that leads into the conversation of the relationship between the community and the police. Because, if young folk don't have anything constructive to do, then the chances are that they will get a little more into trouble or get a little more rowdy. And that's not to say that they're just going to automatically do crime. But we know, young folk get rowdy. It's just especially when they have nothing to do or they're bored. That just is what it is. So that does lead to the conversation about the relationship between the community and the police, especially leading up to Omaha Days, especially following the death of now in the last few months, 3, 4 brothers at the hands of police. So I would like to see the chat answer that question. How do we feel about the police presence, especially ahead of Native Omaha Days? How what would you like to see? What are some of the conversations you might be having with your young men? I know we got some mothers and fathers here in the chat.
Hmm.
What's on your mind? And I do think that this is something that the police are aware of. Of course, we've seen the letter from Chief Schmatter, and I seen a story that is kind of. I'll give you the story, and then we'll kind of read between the lines as we like to do, and then we can jump into the chat. Big shout out to those in the chat, still active, letting your voice be heard and letting your mind be free. But this story coming out of Channel 3. Shout out to Melissa Wright, always doing the good work. And I find it interesting. This is actually a feel good story, but given what's been going on, are these the type of stories that will repair the relationship between the community and the police? Are we to have better conversations? I do want to give a shout out to the young man because I did see this post, Mr. Jeremy McCoy, who is apparently set up at 54th and Ames selling some plates, and he's been getting some response from the community, some support, talking about spaces and places. Shout out, you might want to check him out at that place again, 54th and Ames. The food does look good, and I'm all about supporting young men. But this is interesting how this story kind of came about. Apparently, he was giving away plates, and some officers drove by and he tried to give them a plate. They turned it down, saying that they couldn't accept it while on duty. Later came back, bought a meal, and shared his story on social media. Since then, the Omaha Police Officers Association has been promoting McCoy's pop up location online, encouraging community to stop by and support him. Of course, McCoy has been happy, saying it was a genuine, kind act. I was literally giving it away for free. I just wanted them to try my food. He goes on to say we had the windows down. This is from one of the officers saying that they smelled the food. It smelled really good. But again, when I see these things, it am I wrong in feeling like this kind of feels like a PR stunt?
It's probably, yeah. It feels like propaganda, definitely. They always love to talk about how the police they need feel good stories for the police. I can imagine being like a major news outlet, and and if it bleeds, it leads. So you're always going to be talking about stuff that is negative. And then, but then, there is a whole arm, especially the police. I feel like the Police Officers Association is like the PR company for for police in general. So they always are going to come out with some of these things. Like, look how helpful the police are with folks. And sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. So that's why it feels suspect sometimes. I mean, it's a genuine story. Don't It's not a fake story. I don't think they did that for the publicity stunt of it or anything like that. And it's great that this young man got this attention. But yeah, when it also really kind of depends on who's giving you the attention. Sometimes it feels that way. Sometimes, so um, I hate that it has to feel that way because it really shouldn't have to feel that way. It really shouldn't have to feel that way. But it
Like,
hmm?
just kind of explain why do you say that? What?
Why do I say it shouldn't have to feel that
Yeah,
way?
yeah,
Because it should just be for what it is. It should be a great story about a young man who's out here doing the thing, and he's a couple $1,000s away from the food truck he wants to buy, and he got bigged up on the news and bigged up by some associations, even if it is the police. Um, it shouldn't be. I mean, we shouldn't have the relationship with the police that we do, so it shouldn't feel suspect when things like that happen. I think that if there wasn't like a PR kind of propaganda side to a lot of this kind of stuff already, we wouldn't feel like this is one of them. I wish that we could feel like this is more genuine. Um, I think we got to kind of make a decision if you're gonna take it genuine or not. I don't know, not sure, but it's because of the relationship that a lot of us in this community have with the police that makes us feel suspect when anything like this pops up. Kimber says photo op for sure. She feeling the same way. You know what I mean? So Kimber says I see officers get free stuff at gas stations all the time, but they can't accept a free plate. uh yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question too. But you see him getting free stuff all the time. So it's a good question. It's a good question. I'll jump into the chat a little bit because that's really what we're talking about here is the relationship between the community and the police department. Kimber in the
yep,
chat saying the police interaction at Omaha Days has definitely improved over the last couple of decades, but the blockades and stuff like that, the blockades she's talking about the blockades and stuff like that are unnecessary in my opinion. I agree. The blockades are just weird. I'm always hopping the blockades every time I'm walking down. I ain't walking all the way down and around. I'm gonna hop this blockade. Anthony Rogers Wright in the chat saying, "Let's not forget who killed the defund the police and abolishment moment of 2020. It wasn't the Republicans. You got you're on your mission, your democratic mission again." He said, "We need to reclaim the concept of abolition and remove the stigma of pushing for it." Yeah, I think we definitely need to look into a lot of that as well. I agree with you on that. Also in the chat, um, Amy H. Dot isn't. Hey, Amy H. Dot is in the chat. Hey, fam. See, I'm usually already in meetings this hour, but needed to drop in and say hello and send love. Good to see you, Amy H. Dot. Long time no see. I appreciate you coming through. She also says, officers have accepted a Cubano sandwich from my mom and posted it on her Twitter page a couple years ago. So yeah, that was kind of interesting part of the story too, where they were like, "Nah, we're good. Can't do it. We're on duty." And then but then came back. So the coming back part too seems a little bit like, hey, let's go back and the fact that the association got wind of this too. I mean, there's just a lot of factors here that made me feel like it's a little bit of like a PR type of deal.
yep.
But if the young man is benefiting from it, then so what? I guess.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely echo that feeling, and I roll repeat 54th and Ames. Check out the young man. Check him out. Go get a plate. I'm definitely not saying that, but I do agree to your point as far as it shouldn't feel the way it does. And while Officer Lucero, who was the officer who went back and got the plate, might be a good officer. I don't know. I don't know Officer Lucero, but just the general relationship between the community and the police is my point, and the feeling um, that we have to do something. And does this really? My question is: does a story like this, or does even a genuine move like this, really repair the relationship, or is it a need for deeper conversations? Like, is this really the surface level thing that really will change the tide?
Hmm.
And probably not.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
No, no, no. So again, real changes have to be made, and as we've been talking, real change looks like change of leadership a lot of times, which leads me to the Don Klein situation. The top five was going on with Bacon and some of the moves that they have been making, and kind of urging and pushing and emboldening what we've been seeing from the police and some of the protections that they have been receiving. That leads me to believe that these relationships will actually continue to go in the wrong direction.
Mm, yeah.
You follow me?
I do, I do. And before we move on with that, just to reiterate, we were talking about Kimra's top 5. I'm sorry, Precious
Precious.
McKesson's top 5. Her top 5 were the top 5 people she wanted to get out of seats. It's now changed. I saw a post from her the other day. She said 1 down and 6 to go. So the top 5 has turned into the 6 to dismiss. She says 299 days until the 2026 primary election. She goes on with some more dates. She says these individuals will be removed from office due to the harm they continue to cause in the city, country, and state. It's time for them to be voted out. That's Governor Jim Pillen, Senator Pete Ricketts. Bacon has decided not to run again. Congressman Mike Flood, Congressman Adrian Smith, Don Klein for Douglas County Attorney, and Douglas County Sheriff Aaron Hansen. Those are her top 6 that she wants to get rid of, and of course, she's with the Democratic Party is going to be looking at Democratic candidates for that. There's other people that suggested we need to look for other candidates besides Democratic candidates, but those are Precious 6 to dismiss.
I like that.
Yeah,
6 to dismiss.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, we're about 15 minutes away from the top of the hour. I think we haven't taken a break in a little bit. Might be due for a break here in a second. I don't know how you
Sounds
feeling.
like you want a break. Okay, okay. All right.
Yeah, I do want a break. I do
Just
want a
want to
break, but
dive in. Okay.
yeah. No. I'm gonna let it marinate. But before then, I do want to tee it up because I'm glad you shared that message. You know, Precious talking about the damage that these gentlemen have been doing, and Bacon specifically is one of the ones where we've been trying to figure out like what is he doing? Why are people still voting for him? He's in the community,
Mm,
but this new Bacon back the blue bill and some of the moves. Not only that, but also supporting this $9.6 billion cuts to public media that Bacon has supported along with Ricketts and Flood, who are all on that list. Yeah, after the break, let's actually dive into some of the damage that these gentlemen have been causing.
for sure, for sure. We'll be right back. You're listening to First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Name is Paul B. He's buddy to God. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all.
Hello, I'm Tim Clark, chairman of the Nebraska Commission on African American Affairs. Our mission is to improve the social, economic, and political status of Nebraska's African American community through legislation, advocacy, education, and engagement. We focus on key areas: health and wellness, tackling disparities like higher rates of chronic disease, promoting access to culturally competent care, economic empowerment, supporting entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and equitable access to resources. Housing, addressing systemic discrimination, promoting fair housing opportunities. Education, fighting inequality through better funding, teacher training, and culturally relevant instruction. And finally, justice, challenging racial disparities in the justice system and supporting community-led efforts. To learn more, visit us at ncaa.nebraska.gov. We're committed to building a stronger and more equitable Nebraska together. Thank you.
Right on. Appreciate that organization trying to send that message through us. They've been in the news a lot, and for a lot of negative things. They're trying to make some changes over there, and Tim Clark is one of the people trying to do that. Shout out to Tim Clark, by the way. He just got nominated as one of the 50 over 50 out here. So I appreciate
Okay.
that. Trying to do the good work, and we'll definitely have somebody on from this organization and talk more about these things and get kind of into the details of it. But top of mind right now, before we get back into the conversation, of course, there's a few things that are going on coming up. Today is the last day to sign up to become an ambassador for Omaha Municipal Land Bank. Highly encourage you to do that. If you have any aspirations to do anything with development or building of some houses, or just trying to take a little bit more control of the lands and the spaces and the places around our neighborhoods, especially in North and South Omaha, where most of the land bank land is. And yeah, definitely check it out. You can become an ambassador. You're figuring out what's going on within the organization. You're also getting some training on how to do some development and just be a part of the whole land banking atmosphere. And really kind of keep your eye on what's happening with these empty lots and the other things that are going on around our neighborhoods. So definitely check it out. go to the Omaha Municipal Land Bank website, and they'll have an opportunity for you to sign up to become an ambassador. And again, I believe that the commitment is that you attend one meeting a month. I think it's even via Zoom, if I remember correctly. One meeting a month in order to for the next 9 months in order to be able to learn how to become an ambassador and get the information. So definitely check it out. Be a part of it. Would love for you to do that so you can kind of report back a little bit too on this. We're always talking to the Omaha Municipal Land Bank people over there, that team over there, letting us know what's going on. We also talk to people who have benefited from purchasing some land from the land bank, and how that process went. So it's a constant learning situation, and I even signed up myself so that I can learn more about what's going on inside. So definitely check it out. Do that today. Today's the last day for that. And then tomorrow, of course, is Saturday, is the Omaha Jazz Experience. Everybody's been anticipating checking out some jazz from some artists from out of town. Shout out to the Hollins Corporation for bringing this together. They've been doing it every year for a while now, and they always bring the heavy hitters when it comes to jazz, to bringing jazz to Omaha. So shout out to them. This is going on tomorrow. Tickets still available, and also the VIP tickets still available as well. Go to the Hollins Corporation. Let's see, it's at Hollins Corp. You can hit them up at 402-968-0984, or go to hollinscorp.com and get the information, get the tickets. And yeah, go check out some stuff over there at Stinson Park. Should be a nice, cool day out, cooler day out anyway. And it'll be a good time to go check out some real jazz, some real music. So definitely check that out tomorrow. Those are the things that are top of my mind right now that's going on in the community for today and tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow we'll be starting our content creator camp, which now we have our 8 participants. And so we were cutting it off at 8 at this time around for this cohort. But if you're interested, hit us up at firstsky@gmail.com. We'll put your name on the list for the next camp, because we're going to be ramping these up, not just this year, but several next year as well. And yeah, these are going to get more extensive as we go. So we appreciate everybody who has been going to the camps before. Went to the camps back in 2023, and shout out to everybody who is participating. The 8 people participating in this one, and we're going to fire it up. Shout out to Heart Ministry Center, where we're going to be holding the classes, for allowing us to use their space. So yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be
Yeah,
great.
man.
Those are things that we're working on happening today. So anyway, yeah, that's what's going on now. We'll go ahead and jump back into the conversation. Just want to remind everybody what's happening. I see you guys in the chat going off. I appreciate that very much, buddy. Where we at in the grand scheme?
Yeah, you talking about what's going on tomorrow, and what's happening today, and I'm thinking about what happened yesterday. Again, we
Mhm.
went down to um, MCC and celebrated 10 years of good work with Diane Good Collins and the whole crew over at 180 Reentry Rap Program. Again, working with recidivism, as we've been talking about here on the show. A partner of ours. We've done some projects with them now. Done a couple projects with MCC, even an extension of our content creators camp, as you're talking about going into the prisons and speaking to our incarcerated brothers and sisters about the possibilities of coming out, being a journalist, being a voice in the community, and picking that lane of change as far as journalism is activism, because that is the lane that we chose, and this communication and kind of blowing the whistle, if you will, in some ways. And big shout out to Diane, because the work that they're doing is reversing the curse, if you will, trying to make sure people stay out of prison. But again, we feel like, and I think a lot of you would agree, that there's also some people in the community who seems hell bent on keeping people in prison.
I'm putting more in.
Don Klein being one of them, one of the 6 to dismiss. Is that did I say it right?
Mhm.
I like that. I like that. But so shout out to Precious for that, and just making sure that we stay on top of this lane as far as the political lane, because that is not a lane that we can leave empty. Again, all the lanes have to be filled for this real change to happen. And so we're doing our job as far as waving the flag and blowing the horn on what needs to be done, and staying vigilant on what is happening. So again, Don Klein did announce that he is returning, or planning to run again, to return as Douglas County uh, prosecutor. And I don't want to dive too much in. I think we all are well aware of the damage that he has done. Shout out to Brother Anthony Rogers Wright, kind of echoing what I'm thinking, saying I think an independent citizen review board that's elected by the people will go a long way to improve relations with the police. the question is, why are so many lawmakers against that idea? Don Klein being one of them, and of course, we all know that independent citizen review board would make Don Klein's job a little harder as far as how he's trying to handle the job. But what about Bacon? What about Bacon? Again, this is an official that we've been trying to put a finger on, if you will, just trying to catch where his angle is, what he's voting for, where is he going, what is he supporting, and not just Bacon, but also Flood, who has now been added to that list to dismiss. Again, shout out to Miss Erica Phelps sharing this post on Friends of. Talking about again a little bit into Bacon and Flood's thinking, especially on their backing of Trump's new big beautiful bill, and the slave catcher mentality. Let's just call it what it is. Let's just dive right into the gusto. Anytime we talk about this police community relation, especially for quote unquote people of color, that undertone is present in the conversation. That history is present in the conversation of police starting as slave catchers. So listen to this terminology. It's very interesting. Again, in this letter from Flood and Bacon on why they supported Trump's big beautiful bill, they say over the past 6 months, President Trump's action to end, catch, and release, reinstate, remain in Mexico, and ensure our internal immigration enforcement agencies are performing their jobs have demonstrated how policies can profoundly improve conditions on our southern border to ensure Trump administration has the necessary resources to continue enforcing our immigration laws and better processes of those who want to enter the United States legally. House Resolution, 1 provides 80 billion in funding for the agencies responsible. So again, the rich gets richer, kind of continuing our conversation from Wednesday, talking about ICE agents. Again, 10,000 more ICE agents, $40,000 bonuses for these ICE agents, which again goes towards my feeling of is the police state getting more friendly towards the people or more hostile?
Yeah, we kind of know the answer to that, I think. Shout out to Miss Erica Fell for posting those posts. She put these up to just to show. She said, "Notice the language, the dehumanizing language that they use over the past 6 months. President Trump's actions to end, catch, and release, reinstate, remain in Mexico." She highlighted this catch and release and noted, "You catch and release fish." The dehumanizing language that's being put here is what's up, and we always are. And I've always wondered too. They always talk about what's Don Klein, what's he, I mean, what's Bacon doing, and I always am like, why are we confused about what Bacon's doing? Bacon is a Republican who has backed a lot of things that Trump has been doing, and he's not backed some. He's just like other Republicans. I mean, we've never really felt like he had our best interests in mind, even though he's very visible all the time, which apparently was confusing people because he was in the neighborhoods. Well, at least he comes to the neighborhood, yeah, but he votes against us. So what does it matter that he's driving, that he gets an Ida Vital juice once in a while? Like what's the so what? So I think it's really interesting how even our chat chimers are putting stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha, and really feeling like, look at this language. Anybody who's really aligning themselves with what just went down and what's going down with ICE and all this suspect feels really messed up. In the chat, I'm seeing people in the chat kind of echoing a lot of that too. Anthony Rogers Wright says the cop that killed Breonna Taylor will spend one night in jail. Don Klein would have probably appealed it if the cop was from Omaha. He appealed the one night. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's really messed up. Cameron Snipes says Aaron Hansen called Don Klein the best county attorney in the world. Yeah, I did see that. I was looking for that quote. I'm glad you brought it up. The best county attorney in the world. He also said the man who killed Brother Ibrahim was his best trained officer. This is stuff that Sheriff Hansen, who's also one of Precious's six to dismiss, has said. This shows you about how much they're in cahoots. And we're talking about Don Klein to people as if everybody who we're speaking to right now knows who he is. County attorney, and some of his history. He used to be a Democrat. They had a big party for him when he turned Republican. And it seems that anytime a police officer kills anybody black, he's saying he's judging that the or the it's he's determining that it was justified. It seems, we can go on and on about some of
Yeah.
the things some of the decisions that have been made from him and his office, and the reason why everybody's mad and wants him out of that seat, that we know, that we talk to. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we have to remind ourselves too about what that is, what that's about.
I just want to take it a step further on the Don Klein thing because as you're saying it, I'm remembering the Skurlock situation, and what made the Skurlock which kind of put him on my radar. I don't know about you, but that's definitely the
Same.
Skurlock situation and how he handled that is what put him on my radar. And as you're talking about how he is responding to police situations and the several police situations that has happened since then. But I'm thinking about that because that brother wasn't a cop. That brother was not a cop.
You talking about the man who killed James Sherlock?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that dude was not a cop. And he we all know how that situation played out, but the feeling from that is it's one thing to protect, cops who have all these protections and the badge and these associations, but your average everyday white dude that just kills a black man still gets those protections.
Yeah, they didn't even arrest him right away. And yeah, I
Let him
mean,
flee.
it's hit me right now. It's like we've been in these ongoing conversations, and most of the people that are in our chat know a lot of these stories. A lot of people don't though, and I kind of I'm thinking now that from now on I want to start reframing and reiterating what's happening, because
Mhm.
it can get out of hand where we can keep on saying these things, and we can say we want to find somebody that can replace him, we want to vote him out, and it can get lost sometimes on like why and for what, and to sit here and remember what happened with the James Skurlock situation fired me back up enough. I mean, now it's taking me back in the days when like Joaquin went out and protested in front of Don Klein's house that he needs to be out. That took a group of people out there with picket signs, and it was outside his house protesting because it was so bad, and it's just continued to be that way. So I think you guys have to bear with us. Those of you that know these stories, you're gonna have to bear with us. I think we're gonna move into, every time we mention these things, we're gonna bring some of these old things back up, so we can kind of remember why we're fired up about these things. So yeah, most definitely, and let us know if you don't know what we're talking about for sure. Anthony Rogers Wright says Jake Garner was the saltine that lynched brother Skurlock. Right, he was not arrested right away, and again, Don Klein, county attorney, pretty much let him flee. There's a lot going on with that situation. We'll get the details back and come back and talk about it again, but there's some reasons why people are fired up about getting him out of that seat. One of the things we can approach too is what does the city attorney do? What is their job? What power do they have? What control do they have here? And how has it affected us, especially us in the black community? Especially, how has this affected us? And why is Sheriff Hansen acting as if he is the best county attorney in the world? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are
Mhm.
some questions that we really kind of need to go through and answer, and keep on reiterating as we go. So, and we know that I can already tell we got an army of chat chimers ready to chime in and remind us about what went down as well. So shout out. So Les Butler in the chat saying one love, fam. Good morning to you. Appreciate you coming in. I was going back in the chat here. Marlon Harrison in the chat earlier says y'all need to get Jasmine Harris on the show. She was at the 360 meeting on Wednesday talking about how there's about 1,200 to 1,600 former inmates who are about to get in the next 6 months. Okay, about to get in the next 6 months. Does that mean get out
Get out. Yeah.
or go back in? Recidivism. Let us know what you're talking about. But yeah, we'd love to have Jasmine Harris back on the show again. She's doing the good work. We've had her on several times over the years, and always doing the good work. So we appreciate her for sure. Kimmer Snipes also says there are teachers in OPS who agree with what's going on. I think his angle is that he knows he's pissed off the Republicans, and he's trying to save face. You talking about bacon? You talking
Mm.
about there?
Yeah,
Let us
yeah.
know. Yeah,
Clarify.
let us know. I missed your comment. Oh, yeah, I missed your comment there. As we were talking about it, let us know who you mean. So yeah, so I think that I love going back to this list of Precious McPrecious put out the six to dismiss. we want We want to do Jim Pillen, definitely one of them. The governors, Senator Pete Ricketts, where there's a lot of people running against him now. Congressman Don Bacon, who has decided not to run now. Congressman Mike Flood, Congressman Adrian Smith, Don Klein for Douglas County Attorney, Douglas County Sheriff Aaron Hansen. Does anybody have any candidates they think would be great to run against that, especially people that might that have a chance to win? So, yeah, love to know about that. Love to know about that for sure. It's 8 o'clock right now. If you believe in the concept of time, I think Buddy is very concentrated on something that he's looking at
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, and I'm just
Thinking
over
ahead,
here
thinking ahead of
rambling.
the conversation.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back and jump into the second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
This is News Friday. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God, and all of you Chad Chimers Ghost listeners, appreciate you. Do us a favor. I forgot to ask this earlier. Share the show if you're on Facebook. Share the show on your page. Let's get as many people in the conversation as we can. Also, like and subscribe over there at the YouTube page too. So, shout out to everybody who's been a part of all these things, and we'll come right back and jump back into the conversation. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
This summer, North Omaha comes alive. It's the Native Omaha Days Festival, a week-long celebration of culture, music, food, shopping, and powerful community reunions. Join locals, new residents, and visitors from around the globe for the ultimate homecoming experience. Get in on the fun. Find event details, vendor info, and more at nativeomahadays.org. Let's make memories together at Native Omaha Days, July 28th through August 4th.
Hey, welcome back. For
Hey,
Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the
Uh,
morning.
really looking forward to Native Omaha Days, man. What's the thing you looking forward to the most, buddy, on Native Omaha Days?
Just the festivity, just the liveliness of the Deuce and the community, man. It is North Omaha. There's nothing like North Omaha during Omaha Days. Nothing like it.
Yeah,
There's
we always
nothing
go.
like
This
it.
needs to happen every weekend. Every time we're there.
Why do we feel like that? Because there's a special energy, there's a special love in the air, there's a special pride of the community. There's all of those things are present at the same time. And of course, there's a lot of festivities. I mean, and the weather's nice. I mean, it's what's not to like about Omaha Days, man.
Good question. I mean, I definitely like some specific things about. I love the fellowship. I definitely love the camaraderie with everyone. Walking up and down the street definitely gives me big city vibes a little bit. You know, being able to walk up and down and see what's going on, shows and stuff happening. Definitely like the musicians that are associated with Omaha that come back in town and play shows like Mario Cabino and them cats. Like, it's a real fun time for me. Let us know. I want to hear from you. What you look forward to the most about Native Omaha Days, and it's real funny. Everybody always laughs at me when I said when I was out of town, when I was not here yet. I used to think Omaha Days was for all of Omaha, so I just I thought all of Omaha was doing it.
No, that's us. That's ours.
Just us. It's a
Ours.
black thing. It's a black thing, and if it's just a black thing, it's pretty huge. I wonder if other cultures are adopting the Native Omaha Day thing. So I wonder, do other cultures come back in town see their people every 2 years? Do they ain't? I mean, it's not like it's a closed group. Everybody can celebrate
Mhm.
Native Omaha Day if they want to. So
That is a point. That is a point. Is that something you'll want though? I don't know. I don't know.
I would. I mean, it's definitely a celebration down around the Deuce for the black community, yes. But I mean, what is the black community we've determined is even there's even more folks that aren't of the black community in North Omaha than there are black community people. So like, why not have I'm sure the same thing happens in everybody else's culture as well. You know what I'm saying? Mexican people have people that were born and raised in Omaha, then moved away and want to come back home and be around the fam. I mean,
Yeah,
they do
yeah.
it. They don't do it. They do it. They just don't do it like with an official kind of Native Omaha Day thing. But why couldn't they? Why wouldn't they? You know what I'm saying? I think it's just a good idea all the way around for everybody. Like, especially in towns where your the brain drain happens and your people got to move away in order to make it and stuff like that. Like, if everybody did that all around, how much tighter would families be? But in the rest of the country, people move away from their hometown, hardly ever even come back for Christmas or whatever, and that's it. You know what I mean? So,
Mm.
like, you just come back and see your family, and that's it. You have no real tie to the community anymore. Like, this is a specific tie to the community when you think about it. It's not like coming home to you just your family for Christmas. It's like coming home to the whole town.
Yeah,
That's different.
I feel like that is something that's unique to communities of this size. I
This
think it,
size.
yeah, I think it does. Like, I feel like if I'm not mistaken, actually, Sister Kimmer, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Tulsa have something similar
Mm,
to that? Just kind of a celebration, a annual event celebrating a specific area, a specific community, a specific
mm,
people. Of course, we know Tulsa, the place of Black Wall Street, a thriving, specifically Black community, and I do think that just kind of speaks to more of the bigger plight, celebrating Black community still. What if Redwood was still here?
mm.
Would they be celebrating?
It's true. Some thoughts. I mean, I like that we have it. I ain't mad at it for sure.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
And it goes to the bigger thing of, why we have these conversations, why we care so much, why fight for this community, why talk about development and space is the place, and us having a space, having a place. I actually think that, this whole idea of um Black folks being dispersed and moving around is a detriment. I think integration served to our detriment. We thrived during segregation.
Mm.
We had our own,
I
and
mean,
that leads into political. What does
mm,
that mean for our voting base?
true.
What does it mean for our common interests?
Very true.
Of course, we share common interests with other people from other demographics, but there's also interests that are specific to Black people.
Yeah, I'm with that. Definitely with that. Interesting. Let us know what you think about that. Let us know what you think about Native Omaha Days being a specifically Black event in our neighborhoods, and how has that strengthened our neighborhoods? I really kind of feel like it's strengthened. Like, give me some other ideas of how it's strengthened our community here. Do you have people specifically coming back in town as well? Love to hear if your family's coming back in town. Do you guys engage in the Native Omaha Day activities, or is it really a moment for you guys to reflect and bring family back in town and be around family again, or is it just simply we're out there on the block speaking to our neighbors because we hardly
Mm,
do that either. We hardly do that
mm.
too. So sometimes it's just a mess. I got family members that live around the corner from me that I haven't seen in 5 years. So well, I'm gonna see them out there in Native Omaha Day. It's gonna be like a reunion. So, big community reunion is what this really is. So, let us know how you feel about it. We definitely like to talk about it over the course of between now and when it starts up, and also hear about what you are planning for the week. Like, what's your
Yeah,
plan? Which events are you going to attend?
yeah. Where's the where the cookout? Where the plates and
Where
stuff?
who got the who got the real food is the question.
Man, come on,
Who gonna
big
be
boy,
out
gotta
there?
eat.
Man, that's one of the highlights of Native Omaha Days too. Some real food out there for real.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Jumping back into the conversation again, it's 8:09 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, if you're just joining us, we're in the second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
And we're just talking about getting people into some seats as well. I know this is not the ballot and the bullet season, but we do got to talk a little bit about that political lane because we talked a lot about the six to dismiss, and Don Klein being one of them. In the chat, Marlon Harrison says, "I nominate Senator Justin Wayne to replace Don Klein." I think that might be a good one. Anthony Rogers Rice said we can do much better than Wayne. Again, Brother Wright saying something negative without giving us give us an
Who you
idea of
got?
who. Yeah, who then? Not just we can do better with who. Tell us who. I'd love to get some names on some lists as well. I'm gonna constantly ask that until people come up with some. I can't. I don't know. I don't know who to put in them seats. I know we can tell you that we want people who have our interests in mind to be in them seats. But who is that? And who's in the position? And even furthermore to that question, who is in the position to be able to win that seat as well? So we're coming off the excitement of the fact that Brother John Ewing just became mayor. I keep thinking about that. It's rolling around in my head, man. He had not just the qualifications to be that, but he also had the social cachet and everything else that you have to have in order to be able to win that seat too. It's
Man,
not just put people running people against people. It's who's going to be in that seat. I
extremely
guarantee they
so.
already have people in mind to replace Don Klein that have been that have been working in that community and in the business of the same kind of things that he's doing already. Who do we have? And I ask everybody, independents, Republicans, Democrats, everybody, who else? And I haven't got any real names yet for some of these positions. So I'd love to know about it. Love to know.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody black, just somebody with sense, somebody with some
I mean,
sense.
somebody who's gonna really take keep in mind everybody's best interest, not just one group.
Right.
So yeah, love to know about it. The chat's still going off as well too. Anthony Rogers Rice says, "Buddy is 100% spot on. Multiracial class solidarity does not mean we don't address the nuanced challenges faced by Black folk." Yep, feel that. Also, Kimmer Snipes in the chat says, "I have two thoughts for Sheriff."
Okay. Let us know.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
she's trying to keep it close to the chest, be strategic about it right now.
Maybe having some conversations.
I mean, I will say I feel better if Miss Kimber Snipes has some thoughts on who. That makes me go, okay, okay. Obviously, we got some candidates then.
Okay.
Good.
She
Anthony
would know.
Rogers writes, it's not about individual names. It's about big organizing and who emerges from that big organizing. Okay. Says Zohran Mandani did not come from out of nowhere. He's a product of years of community organizing. I appreciate you reminding us about that for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
makes sense. He says the best DA in the nation is not black. It's Larry Kransner, a white man from Philly. Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Not familiar with him. Have to look into him.
District attorney. Okay.
Yeah. But I definitely have to agree with the big organizing move. We've mentioned this like succession planning.
Yeah.
And this goes along with our conversation about lanes of change. Who in the community are we picking lanes and are we preparing for those lanes? Are we, growing our next candidate? Are we grooming our next candidate?
Hmm.
You kind of think of certain communities. If you're not planning ahead, then what are you doing?
Mm. I
What are
mean,
you doing?
you have to. It can't be one, Christ-like savior that's going to come in here and just change things out of the
Right.
blue. Uh, you know, Obama, excuse me, Obama at one point felt out of the blue for a lot of people, but he was working behind the scenes and working with groups and stuff for a long time to get there. So nobody just comes out of nowhere, which is worrisome when I say that. Like, who can replace these people in these seats? Who? Because that's where we're starting from. I should listen to Brother Anthony Rogers Wright a little bit better and go, what groups are preparing somebody for those seats? Instead of asking who, like you're saying, it's not about the individual name, but about what groups are out here preparing anybody for these seats. It's the next question. So we'll see. Uh, also, I see Rick Fulton in the chat with a comment. He says, "Next guy, Mary Ewing to let go is City Prosecutor Matt Cools."
Okay, yeah,
City
Matt,
Prosecutor.
yeah, Matt's chimed up on a few things in the past from the city standpoint that kind of had me like, especially with some of these housing situations. They've been very, very quiet on the city's behalf, and the city's legal stance on some of these housing situations.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay,
Mm.
I can.
We'll have to look into that. Next conversation.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Before we get to your continuing on with Buddy, Anthony Rogers Rice says Kransner ran and won on BLM's Philly platform. Oh, interesting. Black Lives Matter
Okay.
Philly's platform. And that's my point. Candidates should come out of the platforms, not the other way around. Yeah, I feel that.
Okay.
I
Okay.
appreciate that. Appreciate that. That's what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you that stuff to be confrontational. I really want to know, like, what you that it feels better to understand that too. Like, it's not going to be one person. It's going to be a movement. Where's the movement at around here? Is the next question. Where are the
Man.
movements?
And that's something I've been echoing. Like, it's about a movement, not a moment. And going back to your point of, remembering what Don Klein was really doing, like really, rehashing these stories and kind of bringing up the emotions behind them to continue going. That's the whole point of making it a movement and not being a victim or being, captive to a moment, because moments come and go. You can forget about a moment, but a movement is a sustained thing, and you have to remember in order to sustain that thing, and you have to sustain in order to have change. So with
Yep.
that said, continuing the conversation, because I do want to pivot into, kind of rounding off. We got about 45 minutes left in the show and getting into a solution, our solution to what the problem is, and our solution is being vigilant. But before I get to that, I do want to talk about one point that you made earlier, as far as we're talking about specifically black problems, and you did mention about the police and the relationship between the police and black communities. And I would say it's not just black communities. I do want to add in our Hispanic brothers and sisters, and make the point that what's going on with ICE, I put that in the same boat as far as what's going on with the mass incarceration of African Americans. It's the same plight. And we mentioned it, but I didn't want to dive into and kind of read from the Back to Blue bill from Bacon, and
Mhm.
exactly what this means, as far as my point earlier of police possibly getting more emboldened to see some of the activities that we've seen from police, and not just police, but also federal agents, ICE, and the like. Again, Bacon's Back the Blue bill, which Kimra is saying he's doing to get in better graces with fellow Republicans, seeks to ensure that those who risk their lives to protect others are afforded greater protections. This bipartisan bill creates new criminal provisions. Again, a bipartisan bill. So, to Brother Anthony Rogers' right point, it's not just Republicans. The bipartisan bill will create new criminal provisions regarding the killing of or attempting or conspiring to kill federal law enforcement agencies or officers, judges, and federal funded public safety officers, including firefighters, chaplains, members of the rescue squad, or ambulance crew. It also carries a mandatory minimum of 30 years. Actually, giving offender would also be subject to death penalty, and essentially making it, as you see on your screen, um, a lot more heavy handed when pushing back against the police. And now I'm not saying go talking about people going to war with police, but we've seen with some of these ICE raids where people there was one incident where a man was in the middle of weed whacking. He was working, cutting grass, weed whacking, and ICE agents rolled up on him, and they tried to act like he was trying to use the weed whacker as a deadly weapon, which under this new legislation would mean that this man would face life.
I think it's really interesting that this is something that this administration is pushing, and it's really interesting to see who's backing it. So that alone for me is good. They know something's coming because they know that people are going really are tired of the police killing us, and they're really tired of, and they're fighting back. They see ICE fighting back against ICE agents out in other states and other
Man,
places, and yeah, and so it's not surprising to me they're going to put this in place now. If you start the war against the police, then you gonna be put in jail for life, or get the death penalty. It's not no surprise to me
yeah.
that this is
And
happening.
we all know these ICE raids are going to be ramping up. We've talked about the possibility of, the lines being blurred between who's an American citizen and not just Hispanic, citizens, but black citizens. How do you know who's really a Haitian? By just looking at them.
Well, but they ain't worried about which nationality of dark.
Exactly. Exactly. And furthermore, who are they really like? What are they really protecting the people from? Like, what is this whole boogeyman thing really going on? And I'm sure some of you know that this is really just a dog whistle. It's a boogeyman. The amount of criminals that are being caught in these ICE raids, I think, when you actually look at it, might not really justify the heavy-handed move.
Mhm.
I was actually looking for the article. This coming out of Channel 7, I believe. Yep. A headline reads: U.S. Attorney's Office says some people detained in the Glen Valley food raids may not face criminal charges. So, what did they get detained for if they didn't do any crime? If they're not criminals?
Hmm. That's a good question. Anthony Rogers Wright in the chat is talking about Huntington Beach. Yeah, that's my favorite beach in California. Huntington Beach. He says near your old stomping grounds just passed an anti-ice ordinance.
Mm,
The city will no longer coordinate or work with ICE in any way. We can and should do that here in Omaha too. Although we've been getting messages that the police officers are going to be helping ICE in our area too. So yeah, this is and don't forget about the judges that are not signing off on a lot of these things, and they're trying to ISIS create their own ordinances and their own uh, uh, paperwork to go and do their raids. And some people are like, "This is not signed by a judge. We're not dealing with that. We're not going for it." So I mean, there's a lot of pushback, and there's going to be a lot of pushback. So this part here where they're trying to shore up, they're going away from. We were talking about qualified immunity before and how they need to take that away from police officers. They need to be prosecuted for these kinds of crimes, and as you can see, that's starting to go away. They're talking about trying to bring Chauvin out. The Breonna Taylor's killers getting 1 day. They're already pulling back from that, and they're going the opposite direction. Not only do you have qualified immunity and kill people on the spot, but anybody fights back towards you can uh, get the death penalty and get put in jail for life for assaulting a police officer. Any of those things. So of course they're going to put those things in place, and it just is. To me, it's the wrong direction.
yeah,
You really talking about a war where people are actually going to end up dying.
man, and it's not just those things. Just about 40 minutes left in the show. It's not just what's happening with the police, but it's all of it. What Cameron was saying earlier with education. I mean, what do you expect from a less educated populace?
Mm,
And not only not educated, but uninformed because 9.6 billion is being taken from public media. So not only are we talking about a heightened police state, we're talking about people not being educated and on top of their lack of education, not being informed, which causes fear because you just don't know. To Marianne Williams' point, she says fear is a strategy. I see people pulling back from their former opinions every day. A poll of all races, uh, probably people of all races.
mm,
Which is again why we're doing what we are doing and getting the response that we're getting as far as people saying what we're doing is important
mm.
because we see the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And
Eh,
actually, I'll toss it to you before I say this because as I say writing on the wall, I'm literally thinking of the writing that is on the state capitol that says the security of a nation is dependent upon vigilant public.
wow.
Yeah, let me get the
Yeah.
actual. Yeah, what were you gonna say? I gotta look up this after
Yeah,
you say
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was thinking about I saw a post by Dale Gines recently, a cat out here in Omaha, and he had some very interesting things to say here about the core Texas. He says he said
Mm,
he basically put into AI the question, how can he become the most effective demagogue possible, and the response was all these steps here, 1 through 6, of how you do it, and these are the core tactics, and we're seeing this in this administration, and we're seeing this with the police state. Emotional privacy, prioritize emotional appeals, fear, anger, resentment, simplification, and scapegoating, reduce complex issues to simple slogans, blame specific groups, us versus them division, define an in group, real patriots and the silent majority, frame all issues and battles with these groups, a charismatic performance, create a strong, defiant, and victimized persona, repetitive phrases, dramatic gestures, public rallies, and project authorities. Basically,
mm,
it's like going through the list of everything that it takes control the people, to be the kind of entity that is fooling the masses of people. and
mm,
uh and it just was really interesting thing that he posted there, discrediting critics, attacking media experts, institution is corrupt, elitist, dismisses opposing facts as fake news and conspiracies. Promising easy solutions, offering simple sweeping fixes. I alone can fix this. Avoid
Mm,
policy details. Yeah, it's a really interesting thing. You should definitely check it out. Dale Gines on Facebook posted this. If you're a
man,
friend of his, definitely check it out. But man, it just kind of really makes me think. Who supports that stuff? That's the real crazy part to me. Who supports it? This big beautiful bill and all this stuff. There even Republicans that didn't want to take money away from NPR, PBS, that didn't want to make these changes, but went ahead with it anyway. And is openly saying that, like they openly are saying that, like we didn't really want these changes, but we're going along with it. So to me, who is doing that is the real question to me. Who is supporting these things? And that's why I'm very upset with Bacon. I'm very upset, with what's going on here in Nebraska. What can we expect? What can we expect?
man. Well, we all on the same page. I'm feeling like Pops coming in. Shout out, Mr. Paul Allen the third. He says this is why Trump has said publicly to his audience, "I love the poorly educated." I wonder why. Again, going to my point, we see defunding of public media and news straight from that playbook that you just put out. What do you say? Discrediting media experts. Trump is literally suing the Wall Street Journal behind this Epstein situation. I mean, if you don't see the playbook, I really can't help you. If you don't see the playbook playing out in front of you, I really can't help you.
It's not about not seeing it. It's about going along with it. Everybody sees it.
So to that question, who goes along with it? It's who they're trying to create everybody to be poorly educated and uninformed. Who goes along with it? The people who support CRT but can't define it.
Mm.
The people who thinks we gonna kill the kids. The poorly educated and the misinformed are the people who go along with this foolishness. And it looks like they're trying to make everybody poorly educated and uninformed.
Interesting. So, yeah, what do we do about it? Is the next questions for sure. What do we do about it?
Would you
We,
like to
we
know?
I would like to know. And I'm going to come back after the break and ask you again. So let's do that. Let's take a quick break. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
It is 8:27 if you believe in the concept of time, and you're in a fresh edition here on a fresh season 3B. Space is the place. It's kind of the theme of this season, and there's a lot to that space is the place idea. And part of this is what we're talking about now. So we really appreciate everybody that's joined us, and we'll continue to get busy with this conversation when we get back from the break. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere.
Ease into the smooth sounds of jazz at the Omaha Jazz Experience, Saturday, July 19th at Stinson Park. It's an unforgettable night of elegance featuring legendary saxophonist Marion Meadows with jazz icon Alex Bunyan. Also performing the king of contemporary jazz, Kim Waters. Don't miss Marion, Alex, and Kim live on July 19th. The music kicks off at 5 p.m. Visit eventbrite.com for ticket information.
This summer, North Omaha comes alive. It's the Native Omaha Days Festival, a week-long celebration of culture, music, food, shopping, and powerful community reunions. Join locals, new residents, and visitors from around the globe for the ultimate homecoming experience. Get in on the fun. Find event details, vendor info, and more at nativeomahadays.org. Let's make memories together at Native Omaha Days, July 28th through August 4th.
Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Don't forget, every Saturday, man, Sherman is getting busy with that Untamed Summer over there at the Assembly of the Saints. Big Sherm. It's
Every
happening
Sunday.
every Sunday, man, 4 to 7. It's you bring the babies. It's a good time. You go to the Assembly of the Saints, which is 4224 North 24th Street, and hang out. This week they're going to have DJ Ray Bay DJing. Shout out to Untamed. Shout out to DJ Ray Bay. It's
Yeah.
going down. It's going down. It's gonna be a good time. And then of course, we got our Chad Chimers kickback. When Buddy's in town every summer, we do our Chad Chimers kickback. We get together. Get the dominoes table down. Kimmer usually beats everybody. You know the thing now. You know what it is now. Well, as a matter of fact, this is what happens when we get together and do
If
our
you don't
thing.
know.
Kimmer, reigning champ on the bones
You don't
table. We got a clear view of what the Chad Chambers kickback is now. We may have a little bit of a jam session this year, but mostly the Chad Chambers kickback is really just to celebrate you guys and really have a good time, have a funky good time all together. We love to do what we call live alive with one another, and
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna do. And we usually have it on Sundays, so we were gonna do it on a Sunday, and it was gonna clash with the Untamed event, and we decided to do what we always are preaching. Let's look at other people's dates. Let's not clash with other people's events. If we can, let's collaborate on them. So
Man.
now, in conjunction with Untamed Summer, the Chet Chimers Kickback is going down Sunday, August 3rd, same time, 4 to 7. Put this on your calendar. We're all going to get together. It's going to be our groups from Untamed Summer and our group from the Chad Chimers Kickback, and we will still have our games, and we will still have food and a whole lot more food this time around because we in conjunction with Untamed. So we're going to be mixing it up all together. Fun, music, games, eat, kick it, bring the kids. 4 to 7, August 3rd. Mark that on your calendars. We're going to be at Assembly of the Saints, 4224 North 24th Street, Omaha, Nebraska. It's going down, and I can't wait to see all of you guys face to face. This is for the Chat Chimers, y'all. Come and
Yeah.
have some food, eat for free. If you have a dish, a special dish, let's make it potluck style too. Bring a special dish if you have it. A buddy keeps on talking about Miss Erica Feld. He heard Miss Erica Feld talking about some greens one day. She
Man.
gonna have
That
to hit her
turkey.
up.
With that turkey.
I ran into Brother Muhammad the other day too. I was like, "You still making the bean pies with the thick crust on it?"
Man.
I haven't done it for a while. I'm like, "Well, I might have to give you a call, man. Get that back going."
Yeah.
So,
Running bike.
15 minutes left in the show. Just about actually half an hour left in the show, and we're definitely. What's up?
You threw me off with that 15 minutes. I was saying.
Hey, man, you know I don't know nothing about no time. You know what it is.
Threw me off.
Which one, Pops? He said the Untamed poster is cold blooded. Which photo? You talking about this? Which one? This one right here, the Untamed poster? Or are you talking about our Chad Chambers poster?
Yeah. Let us know. Let us
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Trying to. If you want to dress like bro here, who's grilling too, but let's make it a
Yeah.
thing.
Holler at LaFleur's.
You got a leisure suit. They call them walking suits these days.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back to it. We did say that we were going to. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Christy North said we're having chicken Alfredo this Sunday. Okay,
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
some food now. Listen,
Yeah.
listen.
We still ain't ate breakfast, y'all, so bear with us.
Anthony Rogers, right? Yeah, that's an old track I had to pull out and dust it off. We'll be talking about that. I got more bass tracks to come. Pop says Trump and his followers who are not dropping the Epstein stuff are stupid, and he doesn't want their support anymore. He called Republicans stupid. This Epstein thing is hilarious, bro. Like
It is. It is.
it's really something. It's really something.
And that goes to the point, in the last 30 minutes, this is the point that I wanted to make as far as, again, just the uninformed and uneducated, man. Just it is hilarious.
I mean, I push back on this, bro. I don't think that they don't know what's happening. I think I think what we're looking at is people that are like, "Yep, we're just going to accept that. We're just going to do that." That's what I'm feeling like, bro.
I can't see why people would knowingly.
That's the switch for me. For years, I thought people were just being stupid, and then I was like, "Oh no, they know exactly what's going on. They choosing to do this. They're the like Michelle Trotsky always talks about. The rose-colored glasses are off.
Mm-hmm.
These people hate you. They are doing this on purpose. They're doing this on there. It is entertaining. It is an entertaining thing to most people that all that we were. Ooh, people gonna name some names on this Epstein file. Man, can't wait to see this thing. And then they're gonna try to act like it doesn't exist now. And everybody's going. Nobody's going. Oh, I guess it never existed. No, everybody's going. Oh, they covered it up. Okay, that's what I do too if my name was on it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Buying in, bro. Everybody's buying into this mess. Sean McCarthy says the Epstein thing is one of those be careful of your strategy if you push conspiracy theories that may come to bite you later. It's crazy, bro. Pop said that Trump calling somebody stupid is the pot calling the kettle black for real.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like he calling people stupid not because they're unintelligent. He calling people stupid because they're stupidly pushing
Going
against.
along
Yeah, they're
their
pushing.
own interest.
Like you're being stupid. You're gonna call me out, and then you guys will be in trouble because you're trying to call me out on something. That's what he thinks is stupid.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, we can debate it. We can go back and forth on it. If you feel that way, I want to know exactly why. I want to know if other people feel that way. Most definitely, I have come to the conclusion though that the stuff that we're seeing everywhere is people making the choice to buy into this mess, knowing exactly what they're doing, knowing exactly that people are going to die, knowing exactly that black folks are going to get hit with medical bills and stuff next year. That's crazy. They're doing it on purpose. They're not going, this is a good idea. Save the country some money. No, they do these things knowing that people are going to be hurt by it, and they're saying, okay, yeah, go on and be hurt, as long as it
Es-
ain't us.
Especially if they feel like not only it's not them, but they can also get a buck in the long run. So
And how dare black folks get more than they got? You know what I'm saying? Them type of attitude.
mm, mm. Especially feeling like if the narrative that black folk are inferior is true, how? How dare they? I follow you. I got you. I
I
got
had
you.
to
I
check a
got you.
white friend of mine about 2 years ago. We were driving through North Omaha, and they were going, "Oh, everybody got all these nice cars. They got nicer cars than me. What the? How's that? I was, what you mean they got nicer cars than you? They work too. How did they get those?" I was like, "Nah."
Mm,
She came back and apologized so profusely after she realized what she did, but I let her have it because I was like, "This don't be coming over here in this neighborhood acting like how did they get this and you don't got it? What are you talking about?" Like, and as soon as I said, it, she was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I did talk fully messed up. Yes, you did. Yes, you did
that's
too. You act like these people over here not working, just having nice cars. Are you crazy?"
that's how you end up with Tulsa. That's how you end up with Redwood.
You're just lucky that she wasn't one that was resenting that and wanted to go blow up people's stuff like Tulsa and
Burn it down.
Redwood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but again, getting back to the final of the conversation
Yes,
and,
yes,
and
yes.
all of this, and really all of it, how do people know about Tulsa? How do people know about Redwood if the story isn't being told? If people aren't being informed and reminded, and that's what we're doing. That is our lane of change, and we'll get into. We keep saying this lanes of change because it is a project that we are working on, and we'll kind of tease that a little later on. You can expect some content from that and what that is. But before we get into that, the content creators camp and this program right here, and the lane that we chose to get into to cause change of all the things that we're talking about is information. Because as you see, whether the whole Epstein thing, that's a whole nother can of worms as far as conversation. But I think we all can all agree and see that not just it's a war of information that's going on right now. It's a war of information.
Hmm.
And that goes back to the ideology that MAGA is talking about, the oligarchs, if you will, Meta, Apple, Google, and Amazon, some of the biggest data and information companies in the world. It's a war on information,
Hmm.
which is why we do what we do, to make sure that the people who need the information get the information that they need to not only be inspired to cause change, but to be tooled and prepared to cause change.
Right.
So big shout out to those chat chimers and people who aren't chat chimers who reached out, who are interested in the content creators camp, who want to get down, who want to be a voice for the community, for the people who want to tell the story the right way, who want to be held, hold those in power accountable, because it is about that. And I did find that quote again that is on the Nebraska State Capitol building. I kind of slaughtered it, but the quote is: "The salvation of the state is watchfulness in the citizen." Who's watching? And not only who's watching, but who's telling other people who are not watching? That's our lane. And that's what we are deciding to do with this. Again, going back to what Sister Marianne Williams was talking about, as far as fear and how fear is being um tooled and weaponized. And when we have these conversations, if you don't bring a solution to the end of the conversation, the result a lot of times is fear, because people don't know what to do, which is why we're pushing this lanes of change line.
Most
Because
definitely.
and Paul, I like how you laid it out. You know, that kind of came from that's your brainchild, as far as the lanes of change and putting them together as a freeway, and that freeway tearing through the oppression and some of the things that we're facing. I love that analogy.
Just like
And
it,
that's the project we're working on. Go ahead.
just like it tore, just like the 75 tore through North Omaha.
Man.
As you put lanes together and push ahead, and that's what it is. And everybody works in different lanes and stays in their own lane and works together in lanes. Miss Yarborough's in the chat. Good morning. Says got to strengthen local government, which is another lane.
Yep.
Says show up in local elections. This Epstein stuff is all a distraction from the fact that they're dismantling public safety and infrastructure, guaranteeing freedoms. Got to focus, folks.
Yeah,
Yep,
man.
got to definitely focus. And as we always talk about, the political lane is a lane as well. Got to strengthen local government for sure, definitely part of it. But the grassroots efforts that people like Anthony Rogers Wright have been talking about, to put people in seats, it's all part of that lane as well. But there's these other lanes, and communication is one of them. And this is the one that Buddy's really talking about right now that we're in, and what we're pushing, the communication part. This army of citizen journalists that we're trying to build, and we call it, we even call it news gang, because it's really the most
Mhm.
gangster thing you can do to tell the truth and pull this information out. Go find it first of all. You got to bust up in the mug just to go find the information in the first place. Like the
Man.
stuff we got to go through to understand where we're coming from. It's a whole bunch of looking at other sources and putting things together and doing critical thinking and read between the lines and listening to other alternative news groups and seeing things for ourselves. And all these things contribute to us being able to have some information to be able to disseminate in the first place, just like how investigative reporters do. And that's number one. And then having the boldness and the wherewithal to be able to speak it out.
Mhm. And not
Tough.
just that, but deal with the repercussions. Like, that's gangster. That's gangster. To tell the truth and not care about how people respond. That's gangster.
Yeah. and
News
and
gang, news
also
gang.
and also setting up for it as well. There's an
Mhm.
infrastructure in gang culture. There's also an infrastructure where you're also taken care of. Your mama's still gonna
Right.
get a check if you in jail. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so that's why there's so many different lanes. We got a do for self lane as well. We have an entrepreneurial lane. We follow the money lane. There's a lot that we got to do here in order to be able to even have some protection, to be able to even have the communication that we're looking for. So definitely part of it. Definitely part of it. Let us know what you think about this. Sean McCarthy is saying CBS paying Trump 16 million for a media case CBS would have easily won in court is an example of how scared major media is in reporting, which makes citizen journalism so much more vital nowadays.
Man.
Speaking of CBS, is CBS the network that is canceling the Late Show with Stephen
Yeah.
Colbert?
I did see that. I did see that this morning. Yeah. I just saw that news. So, man,
Why? They don't like Stephen's message. They don't like being mocked.
the truth tellers.
Wonder why that's going off the air. I wonder why. Isn't CBS the company? Is CBS the network for that?
I believe so. I believe so.
Very
And not just see the CBS situation, but as I mentioned earlier, Wall Street Journal getting sued by Trump. We'll see how that plays out.
Yep, we just said it. There we go. Yep. Canceled Stephen Colbert. Can, and not just canceled him. They're getting rid of the Late Show. Like, they just shut the whole show down to get rid of him.
Mm.
And that's what the news is right now. There's no understanding quite why, but we've already had reports of what CBS is doing. Sean McCarthy just told you what CBS is doing. Uh, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He says, "Yep." He said they said it was a coincidence, but it came shortly after Colbert tore into CBS for their settlement. Telling the truth, get your whole
Come on,
late
man.
show shut down. That's how bad they want to not have anybody talking about them. So
Man.
yeah, you don't think that we're gonna be? You don't think that anybody who's speaking out is going to be try to be silenced? We're on a two Broligart networks right now, talking to you right now.
Man.
Facebook, YouTube,
Yeah, that's Google.
Facebook, and Google.
Yeah, and
So
I'm using Google Chrome. So it's we all Broligart out.
We brother locked out, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. There's a lot of Fediverse stuff I'm looking at. There's a lot of stuff that might have to go down, man. Peer to peer. Definitely get down with the weekly wrap. Weekly wrap is Fediverse because it goes right
Man,
to this. Fediverse uses your email address, so that means peer to peer and all
what
that good stuff.
what is that Fediverse? I haven't really heard that. What is that?
It's basically a internet that's not reliant on the giants.
Hmm.
And there's even like a YouTube version of it. There's a YouTube they have they're all the social media platforms, but they're decentralized.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, man, we're really looking into some stuff. We have to look into these things because that's what it is. We don't know what's going to end up happening. Anthony Rogers Wright says this is fascism, y'all. It's not coming. We're right. We're right here. We're right here from the courts to the halls of Congress to the airwaves, straight up.
Man.
McCarthy says the thing is that these cases are frivolous. If the companies had a spine and pushed back and took it into court, they would most likely have won. It's an intimidation game.
Man. Fear.
Sean, I'm trying to tell you, Sean, I don't think it's just fear. I think some of these people are buying in. CBS has always been
Mm.
one of those networks to me that bought in. Think about every show from every show, even in shows, man. Even before I was become aware of anything politically at all, even as a young dude, I was just like, why PBS got all the cowboy shows and Texas Walker Ranger and all these cop shows and all these like what I felt like the the channel was the whitest channel on all the channels
Mm.
in that way, in that direction, in those directions. It didn't surprise me when they were backing stuff that Trump was doing. Like it didn't surprise me. I always felt like there was a lot of that kind of stuff going on those channels, just entertainment wise. And now we're in media and we're seeing what's going on with networks.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a trip.
I mean,
So you calling it fear? It could have been fear. They could have been scared of Trump and did it. I think they bought in to be honest.
I have to agree. I have to agree because I'm also thinking of locally. What are the CBS affiliates locally doing? What type of news are they promoting locally? If I'm not mistaken, let me see. Okay, no, no. Channel 7 is the ABC affiliate.
Hmm.
Who is the CBS affiliate in the area? I'm curious.
CBS is channel 3, right?
I believe. Okay, okay. Um,
KMTV.
okay. But I will say, kind of to your point earlier, as far as the buy-in, I'm actually thinking of what we were listening to actually before the show earlier, the NPR PBS interview when the leader, the head of it, I believe it was NPR that was speaking at the time.
Hmm.
She talked about fighting.
No, she's head of public broadcasting. All the
Oh,
public broadcasting.
PBS. Okay. Um. So yeah, but again, thinking about the intention, thinking about the juxtaposition between public broadcasting, PBS, NPR, and CBS, ABC, NBC, and advertising. Why would CBS and ABC and NBC buy in? Could their advertisers be talking about pulling out? The same mega corporations that will possibly make money from all these tax breaks and all these things that's going on, the same billionaires and trillionaires that are, inside trading Rick has just made millions from Nvidia. At the same time, you got PBS and NPR who are saying, no, we're gonna fight this.
Hmm.
And we talked about they're not backed by beholden to the billionaire advertisers.
But they are all beholden to the FCC, which is the worry now. Some of the smaller, not the major ones. The major ones are on a different thing. Like
Hmm.
NPR and PBS don't have a FCC license, but the smaller
Did you?
ones do. So all these little radio stations and all these little places around the country, especially they're even talking about it in rural areas, are not going to get even the warnings, tornado warnings and stuff like that because of what they just did with this thing. They're getting ready to have it so that smaller stations are getting shut down.
Man,
Stations that get funded by places like PBS and NPR.
and we know.
KIOS, our own KIOS is worried right now because a lot of their money comes from NPR.
Didn't even think about that. Didn't even think about that. But
Yeah.
to the point of the smaller ones, once the smaller public radio, talk radio stations go away, what news do they have?
Oh, oh, I just read an article yesterday about the fact that the Trump administration is about to make AM radio standard in all cars.
Really? The same
While
80 AM?
while this is happening, they're also pushing to have AM radio in all cars, including electric cars, which they don't put in electric cars because the frequency the AM frequency messes with the electronics
Mm.
in electric car. So they've been taking them out, and a lot of the newer cars don't have radios, the same kind of radio situation. They don't have a AM band, but think about what who dominates AM radio, and think about the fact that they're trying to put it in every car.
Even here in Nebraska. Well, who's that Republican senator that's been buying up AM radio stations all over the state?
I forget his name.
But you know what I'm talking about. If
Right.
anybody knows his name, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a Republican senator who is actively buying up a lot of AM and low power small radio stations and media outlets throughout the state.
Right.
So again, it's a war on information.
Most deaf. Sean McCarthy says CBS is always the nursing home channel, wall to wall NCIS. Yeah, wall to wall propaganda. Pop says, "I tell you what, they might have lost in court since Trump has them hooked up too. You never know. True,
Mm.
might have lost in court." Kimmer says, "Locally, they're the only channel that will go back and correct themselves when someone is found innocent of a crime." Talking about Channel 3, KMTV. KMTV is doing something different. Every show that's on a network is not beholden to the network. They are beholden to the network, but they don't have the same fight all the time with the network that some do. Some buy in and just go with it. Some local affiliates, like what's happening here with KMTV, which I do got to give them some props for how they handle a few things, including news. I do
Mhm.
like the fact that they have these neighborhood news people. Shout out to Melissa Wright. Like when they changed that up, that was huge. She was like, I'm your North Omaha neighborhood reporter." And she calls people like, "What is going on around here? I need to report what's going on in North Omaha." And that is a huge jump in broadcast news. Go ahead.
And to that point, that I think that has the impact that it has, and you're saying that because of kind of where it came from. Because we're talking about your major advertising network news versus your public news, and reporting from a neighborhood perspective is wholeheartedly a public news move. So the difference is KMTV isn't acting like a major broadcast network news outlet,
Right.
because major broadcast news outlets, we talked about this on the show, it's a revolving door of journalists who don't have any time to really buy into the neighborhood.
Right.
So there is no local voice. Melissa Wright, she's outside.
She's the local voice. Still on those same kinds of contracts though.
Right.
So that's why I give them props. They didn't change quite yet over to a new a totally new way to do it, but they've made some changes that has resulted in a person like Melissa Wright, who is now very invested in this community, and that's way different than most of the 2-year cycle
Right.
broadcast people, and that's what it is. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. I mean, when you think about it, there's really only CBS, ABC, NBC, and Fox. And our Fox out here, Fox 11, is not even based in Omaha.
Council Bluffs.
It moved out of Omaha to a different city. I don't even know. It's not even Council Bluffs. It's based somewhere
Hmm.
else. It's not
Right.
local anymore. It used to be local up until about 7 years ago, and then they changed over, and now it's not local. So they're absolutely piping in from the Fox affiliates and matching that up with whatever local programming they got going. So there's a lot to it, but again, to me, like we can have this discussion all day long talking about the major broadcast outlets, but also the major internet broadcast outlets that we consider major, like Facebook Instagram, YouTube, because we having the same conversation about the oligarchs controlling these things. Uh, um, what's his name that owns that owns X, that owns Twitter, Elon Musk. I mean,
Mhm.
the even most of the news, they're getting a lot of news from Truth, the Truth one that Trump owns. So so they, a lot of them are bypassing. Then, like you said, major outlets like Wall Street Journal, New York Times. New York Times is the one that ran the 1619 project. Wall Street Journal is the one that wants the Epstein files that he's trying to sue. So every major outlet from paper to TV to internet is being controlled. How do we have communication? How do we have unfettered communication? Radio that was a public service. Radio is regulated by the FCC, a governmental organization, because it's just like a major. It's like the water company. Everybody needs to be able to tune into an FM radio to see what's going on with weather, see what's going on with emergencies, and so on and so forth. And that's why that's what they control. So they want control of all those things too. I mean, they've been shutting down weather services and stuff like that to even let
Man,
people know when tornadoes and stuff is coming. It's crazy what they're doing with the communication part. It's more important than ever to figure out how we gonna keep in contact with each other.
man, I'm even seeing people like more and more people push like buying like ham radios and like walkie talkies and like really like you joking about the carrier pigeons and things like that, but people are really talking about, and especially looking at what's going on internationally. If America's attacked on U.S. soil, what are you gonna do?
Good question. Kimmer's saying a lot of people are talking neighborhoods now all of a sudden, which she been talking this whole time, right?
Hmm.
At neighborhoods, getting together with your neighbors. My whole philosophy for my organization is live alive with one another.
Yeah, man.
uh, Face-to-face information is the key. Also, when if you want to really battle when it comes to social media is concerned, one thing they haven't been able to put a finger yet is this: live streaming. We're having this conversation live. AI may be able to come in later on and switch some things around and mess up our recordings, but when you are on live, there's no regulation there yet. There's nothing that they can stop you from saying or doing at that point. So right now,
Mm.
the institution of live is very important. There's some social media groups that we wish had live, like fan base. Other fan base is a black owned kind of a Facebook style s- and Instagram style thing, but they don't have like a live video stream yet. But anything that's happening live is also a way. There's a way that you are able to relay some information that you're not able to do in other ways, and able to trust in other ways as well. The trust is the key too. We've been talking about all
Man,
this without talking about how AI can deep fake everything so good now you don't know what's real.
and it's getting better. It's getting better by the day almost.
I mean, they got AI live streamers now. You even got to watch that. So it really
Man,
is like Chad Chalmers kickback. Everybody face to face, get to know each other.
hey,
Otherwise, we don't know you.
let me see you. Let me see you. Lay some
Kimber
eyes.
got to Kimber got to beat me on the domino table so I can know who she is when she chimes up here.
Hey, man, gotta go back outside. Gotta live alive with one another. That's the only way to kind of combat some of this stuff. And each one teach one, man. And also, everybody has a lane. So, in these last few minutes of the show, just kind of reiterating, we will be talking about them more and more throughout the season, which I think is quite fitting for a season like Space is the Place, because talking about lanes of change, we're helping people find their place and find their space in this landscape of change, finding a place to have impact, finding a space to take up and to push the line forward, so we all can, get to the society and the space and place that we want to be in. So, again, we'll continue to talk about this, but right now, tomorrow goes down. Content Creators Camp kicks off. Big shout out to all the content creators who have reached out and signed up, and excited to see all of you in person, to live alive with one of you, with all of you, excuse me. And yeah, yeah, keep this pushing. As far as us doing what we're doing, journalism is activism, is the lane, and telling the truth. What's more gangster than that?
Yeah. Hit us up for the weekly wrap as well. Every Friday, we'll send a newsletter right to your email inbox. And right now, nobody can stop that either. So that's all Fediverse stuff is your inbox. So hook it up. Weekly wrap. I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat if you guys have not already signed up for the weekly wrap. And if you do get the weekly wrap and there's some things you want to discuss because of the weekly wrap, please do so. You can always send us a message back. We can have conversation back and forth there. And then, of course, always go to Friends of First Sky Omaha as long as Facebook works and put some things in. We're also looking at some other platforms to do the Friends of at because some people are leaving Facebook, leaving Meta altogether, and I don't blame them. So we'll constantly be changing and trying to update what we're going to do with information. And I really appreciate that very much. Kimber says, "I love you all to pieces, but we do a server in the neighborhood. We do a server in the neighborhood organizing when we constantly refer to it as community gardens and people just getting together." You
I
say
think she's
we
meant disservice,
a
maybe.
disservice in the neighborhood organizing when we constantly refer to it as community gardens and people just getting together. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about that when we come back. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah.
I'd love to refine how we talk about neighborhood work.
Mm.
Tamika Renee in the chat as well. Good morning. City View needs boxes. Anyone that can help and drop off some is greatly appreciated.
Okay.
Your work is greatly appreciated. We really
Yeah.
appreciate you. Hopefully, we can have you on we'll give you a call and try to see if you can come on next week to talk a little bit more about what's going on over there at City View. The other day we read your post that we thought was so interesting that you were sending out to spiritual leaders about not just the physical needs over there from people with City View, but the spiritual and mental needs as well, and emotional needs that
Yeah.
people can help take care of. So we really appreciate you. Hopefully, we'll have you on next week if you can make it, and we'll confirm that with you off the show. Mama God also says that we have to interact in personal spaces more to resume the caring for one another. Personal touch, critical sense, birth.
Yeah,
Man,
man. Yeah. Yeah. That kind of there's some studies out there that suggest that some of the mental health issues that we've been seeing, especially among young people, and depression and thought suicidal ideations and things like that, have been linked to people congregating on social media, and social media replacing the physical third space, and the lack of personal interaction and actual touch. And like, when humans are within a certain range of each other, there are certain emotions, chemicals, there are things that we exchange, in that interaction that actually benefits us. Actually, there's a study that I've been seeing swirling around social media, that talks about men and how they respond to cuddling, and how cuddling actually helps men deal with PTSD and the stress of work and everyday life. And hey, we need, thank you, mom, for that, because hey, you see a brother out there that might have a mean mug, give him a hug. Like, let's love each other, and we do need to be around each other, not just in these social media spaces. Not just because everything we talked about with AI and not really being able to trust social media and bots and not really knowing who's who in these chats, but just being able to physically heal each other by being around each other. That is a real thing. So let's live alive with one another. Let's get outside. The weather is beautiful. Let's make it happen.
absolutely. Hopefully, we'll see you around tomorrow. Check out some jazz over there at the Stinson Park. Shout out to the Hollins Group, 5 to 10. This is going down the Omaha Jazz Experience. Definitely check it out. And we appreciate you. If you don't get to this, then do something else. Figure something else
Man,
out to do to get to it. So shout out to everybody who is getting out to these events and doing the good work. We really appreciate it. And then we have our own version of that with Chad Chalmers Kickback coming up Sunday, August 3rd, in conjunction with Untamed Summer. Gonna be a lot of living alive with each other around this time for this event as well. So
man.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. We're gonna get out of here. We're already 4 minutes over the time. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Yeah, man. I will echo, reiterate, say it again. Live alive with one another. Get out. Give your peoples a hug, man. Love on somebody, and get that love in return, man. Because although this isn't quite the Love Supreme season, it's always about the Love Supreme, man. So again, we love and appreciate all of you for responding and joining the conversation, and just really supporting what it is that we're doing here at First Sky Omaha. Whether you signing up for a chat chimer kickback, or joining the newsletter, weekly rap list, or just tuning in, and not even joining the conversation, but just tuning in, ghost listening. We appreciate your support. We feel your presence. We love you. We thank you. And we look forward to seeing you next time. So catch us same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul,
Yep. Oh, in the morning. I get to sing.
come on, man. Try to toss it to you, man. Come on. Go ahead, take it away.
Right on. Shout out to the Umaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you and have all these really, really good conversations and questions and added information to all these things as well. And most of all, the love. So really appreciate you. Please live alive with one another. Let's get together and we'll definitely spend some time. Take care of yourselves this weekend. We'll come
Amen.
back Monday with a special guest and continue the conversation there. And it's all good. So appreciate you guys again. And we'll yeah, that's it. We'll just let you go. We'll just
Let's get out.
let you go ahead and have it. Just get out of here. Have a good one. Peace.
Peace.
By the way, Van Glorious, this is protected by the Red